sometimes you should look out of the window, look at the world, then look back up on yourself and ask yourself, what is this out there? Who am I? And what is my relationship to that what is generally known as the world? Well, greetings, this is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien. It's an age-old question, and very few of you can answer it. Who am I? What am I? First, you have to know what is left of you when you take all that away, which is being put on you, which have been implemented, implanted into your mind, which became second nature, and later on, when you became an adult, you had a clear picture of your personality, which consisted of 95% outside information and a very small percentage of authentic, genuine yourself. Besides two fundamental, naturally occurring human traits, traits which are not only exclusively human, but all living creatures who can reflect realize that, which is number one, survival, and number two, reproduction, which shows itself in your life through sexuality. Besides these points, all the other ones are learned. These two, survival and reproduction, are naturally already coming with birth, coming with every creature in this world as a natural occurrence. But besides that, you can learn on your own out of experience. As a small child, touching a hot stove will burn you and you will never forget it. As a small child, you may do some climbing on trees and you fall down and you will never forget it, to be more careful and hold on. These things are natural ways for a young person to learn. These are natural ways to grow into a person who is able to survive its environment. All of this is necessary and good. But then there sets something else in. The education which you take on from people who are longer on this planet, from the older people who have taken this on, from their parents and teachers and so on. You're becoming educated. And the education you receive has nothing to do with the fundamental survival skills you have been learning on your own. Some of it is good. Some of it is practical, what your teachers, your parents, or your friends teach you, who are older and more experienced. But a very large part of that, what you are learning as a child and going into adulthood, is aimed to install fear and guilt in you and install a certain pattern of behavior which is not beneficiary for yourself, but makes you dependent and functional for a very small elite who know exactly how to use the psychology of a human brain in order to make you a willful, non-thinking robot. And this is the question I asked in the beginning. How much do you know about yourself, and how much of that what you know is genuinely you? And how much of it is being adopted, learned? And from that what you have learned and adopted, how much of it is beneficial to you or beneficial to others on your expenses? Fear and guilt are the most powerful tools in the hands of a small elite. And by teaching you how to behave, ethical and moral laws, and always threatening you with extinction and hunger and disease if you do not follow these laws, and if you do not follow the laws of the elite, the state and the church. This way they will put the possibility of punishment, they put the possibility of very extinction into the back of your subconscious and make you willful slaves. If you follow the rules of society, you may not be happy, you may not be free, but you get less hurt and somehow you manage to make it through life. At the same time, you make yourself the willful executioners of the interest of others, of the interest of a small group, of an interest of a small elite, and you make yourself the willful executioners of the other part of the larger part of the slave population which you belong to. You are willing to control others through military, police, school system, and so on. You're willing, if you get a better job, to look down onto your co-workers or people who are under you and give them orders and rules in order that your superiors are happy with you and you may, with your pay raise and other benefits, carve out a little bit better existence. All of this is a hierarchical structure where you are bound in a situation where a slave beats another slave, and what of this constitutes yourself? What of this makes you genuinely human? There is very little left of it. You even are so far indoctrinated that you believe these lies and you believe this is the only way to live. And punishment and pain is a natural law which has to be applied on others and even up on yourself once in a while. Basically, life is not lived to serve others and live in constant fear and guilt. And the churches are highly responsible for this part of guilt and fear. Life is there in order to take in all the phenomena around you and turn it into a very personal experience and grow up on this experience to become more independent and free. Whatever you encounter on your own terms in life, whatever mistakes you make and whatever hurts you in life, as long as it is made up of a free decision, will bring you further. But anything which is artificially put up on you from other humans who have selfish interests will never ever bring you further in life. It will only distract your mind, confuse you, and eventually you give up and are happy with the few little bits here and there they are throwing at you like some bone to a dog. Don't cheapen yourself that far. Don't fall into the trap of education. Don't fall into the trap of being a functional human being in a dysfunctional society. This was my message for today, Rudolf of Germany.